God would understand, Gabe decided, even though this wasn't Passover. He took a deep breath. Ma nish tana halela haze, he started. The recitation brought an almost instant response. Gabe was startled by a loud crash in the bushes not that far away. He stared in the direction of the noise, not knowing what to do. Could that be a rescue party? He felt hope surge within him, or a bear. That instant thought scared him more. It had to be an animal. He shivered in his fear. Sweat ran down his face. His legs urged him to run away, but his father's advice to stay in one place held him. He leaned back against the tree for support and tightly gripped the water bottle. He peered in the direction of the sound, trying to see anything in the murky surroundings. Nothing, not a hint. Just the now steady and louder sound of something getting closer and closer. Silently but with urgency, Gabe prayed. His lips were moving, but no words were coming out. He couldn't even think. He looked around wildly for a stick, a rock. There was only a few pebbles. He groaned aloud. He felt the hair on the back of his neck bristle. His heart was racing. He pushed backwards as hard as he could against the tree trunk, as though it would suddenly open and hide him inside. Bark poked into him. Whatever was making the noise was louder, closer, moving towards him. He tried to be quiet, but his heart was pounding like a large drum. Anything could hear it. He held up the bottle as though to throw it. "Who's there?" he quavered. He could see something, a faint glow like a weak flashlight. Was it Marty? His father? John had a flashlight. Gabe jumped to his feet. "Dad," he called hesitantly. "Mom," silence came back. The noise stopped. Gabe strained to hear anything. Nothing. He relaxed slightly. He must have scared it off. He still held the bottle ready. Nothing. After a few more seconds, he sat back down, ever vigilant. Then the noise resumed. A strange glow suddenly appeared seemingly yards away, masked only by some brambles and a few trees. Fear grabbed him again. He could not move. "Stop," he shouted. The noise did not. Gabe felt his throat closing. He could not breathe. If the thing making the noise had been one of his parents or his brother, there would have been a response. Instead, there was just that steady noise of a large body going through the underbrush and headed straight towards him. He looked up at the tree. Could he climb it? He'd be safer there, he was sure of that. He stood and reached up. The closest limb was too high. The trunk was too thick to shinny up. He looked again in the direction of the noise. The glow was brighter now, barely shielded by the many leaves and branches in between him and it. Gabe felt sick, light-headed. He recognized the faint light. It looked like the glow from that strange ball. The underbrush parted. Something that emitted a strange light appeared just a few yards away from Gabe. He stared, virtually unable to breathe. The creature. It stopped too. Gabe felt his stomach roil. His knees buckled. Only the tree kept him upright. The creature exuded some strange odor, like gasoline. The scent brought tears to his eyes. It just stood there. The lights from its odd head seemed to scan the frightened youngster. Gabe felt his whole body trembling. He could barely stay upright. What would it do to him? He had an overwhelming urge to cry, to run, to get away. This time his legs refused to react. The creature did not turn nor do anything. Its eyes seemed to stop at Gabe's chest. And there was dead silence. Gabe looked down. What was the creature looking at? The water bottle. The rabbi had said that everything needed water to live. Maybe the creature had stopped to get water. Maybe the ship wasn't supposed to glow. Maybe it was like a car with an overheated radiator, just like what happened with his father's car. The gauge inside the car had swung into the red and then hot steam had come from the radiator. Maybe the creature just needed water. There were no rivers nearby. Gabe could almost envision what might have happened. The creature's vehicle had a problem and needed some water. It had crashed here, an area that unfortunately didn't have any water source. Gabe didn't hesitate. He held out the bottle. "Here," he said. The creature seemed to emit some light that went directly from its body to the bottle. The beam simply moved across the small clearing. It attached to the bottle in a straight line. Gabe felt no pressure on his hand or on the bottle. Then, with a slight tug, the bottle left his hand and slowly crossed to the creature. It attached itself to its side, and in a moment, the light beam disappeared inside. Then the creature bent its head. Gabe stared at it. It didn't seem so odd now, like an astronaut with a helmet. He heard what sounded like a grinding of gears and abruptly realized that the creature was saying something. Its voice was harsh but audible. It had closed its eyes and was turning first to the left, then to the right, leaning its head back, then forward, as if saying thanks. Gabe stared. There was no question what the creature was doing, it was praying. Gabe swallowed hard, his legs were stronger. His heart was calming down, he felt as though everything was going to be all right, he could think clearly. The creature wasn't going to harm him, it was just thirsty or needed the water for its spaceship. He almost felt a sense of relief. The rabbi said God was everywhere. Why wouldn't the creature thank God too? It made sense. He wanted to participate. What was the blessing over wine? It should be good for water too. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, he quavered in a faltering voice, Bori peri hagaphan, Amen. The creature seemed to listen. Its blue eyes watched Gabe carefully before turning a softer yellow. Finally, abruptly, it turned and simply rolled away, disappearing into the forest. Behind it lay the water bottle, now empty. Gabe glanced down at the bottle. Hey, he called, you're not supposed to litter. Who are you talking to? A small voice asked. Gabe whirled. Jen was standing next to the tree. She was dirty with a scratch on her cheek. Rabbi got lost, she reported, holding up her stuffed animal. Do you see the thing? Gabe managed. Jen looked around. What thing? Gabe smiled. Nothing, he said, nothing at all. He took the little girl's hand. Are you all right? Jen couldn't control herself anymore. I want my mommy, she cried. Gabe sat down next to the tree and cradled the girl in his arms. So do I, he admitted. Your mommy is lost too, Jen wailed through her tears. Gabe nodded. Jen nestled close to him. He felt warmer. Her body shook with sobs. He wondered what he could do to calm her. Maybe we should say a prayer, he suggested. Jen looked up at him with tear-streaked cheeks. Do you say prayers? He asked. Every night, Mommy and I say our prayers before I go to sleep, she said. She closed her eyes and recited a bedtime prayer. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. That's very nice, Gabe said. Then I go to sleep, Jen said. Good night, Gabe said. Good night, Jen echoed, leaning against him and holding her stuffed rabbit close to her chest. The night was very still. The stars poked through the canopy of trees, and the wind brushed by the branches and sent a few more leaves drifting toward the ground. Gabe couldn't hear anything but the rhythmic breathing of the little girl resting against him. They were alone in a huge forest with no hint of anyone coming to rescue them, with wild animals everywhere and a strange, scary creature amid the trees, possibly still watching. Yet somehow, he wasn't frightened anymore. What seemed like seconds later, he woke up feeling Jen being lifted from him. He blinked. Faces peered down at him. Wayward was sniffing his feet. Mrs. Halcombe was crying and hugging her daughter. Bear was standing nearby. So was Marty, Rennie, and John. They all seemed happy. Gabe looked up, saw his mother and father. His mother knelt next to him. He hugged her. She was crying too. How did you find us? He gasped. There was a strange glow, she reported. It seemed right here, but when we got here, it was gone. Did you see anyone? He asked. The others all shook their heads. You're the only two who wandered off, Bear said. You guys shouldn't have done that. But the thing, Gabe said. He jumped up but clung to his mother's hand. They all looked at him blankly. A shooting star, Bear shrugged. Too bad. It would have been a real tourist attraction to have a meteor or something land here. I meant an alien kind of thing, Gabe tried. Just a dream, his mother said gently, squeezing him. Gabe was going to argue but thought better of it. Yeah, he agreed, that must be it. The creature must have been able to erase memories. Why did he remember? He didn't know. It didn't matter. I was praying so hard, Mrs. Halcombe said. I was too, Jen said sleepily. Gabe nodded. Absolutely everyone was, he said.